Thoughts to Build On by M.R. KOPMEYER. 30. Chapter 30. Don't attract them to you, go to them. Personal magnetism is a highly desirable quality. There are great personal benefits to be gained from the ability to attract others to you. I have written a chapter in this book, Chapter 25, explaining how you can use the methods of movie and television stars to develop personal magnetism yourself. And I do not intend, in this present chapter, to retract what I said in Chapter 25 about personal magnetism. I simply want to point out here that there is another way to influence people favorably, which produces much the same beneficial results as personal magnetism, but which works on an almost opposite principle. To be specific, using the method I now want to explain, you do not attract people to you, you go to them. Western Union used to feature the slogan, "Don't write, telegraph." There is much merit in that suggestion, and I often have, and still do, recommend it. Then those of us who trained salesmen and taught management used to emphasize, "Don't write, don't telegraph, go." Go. There are great advantages in the admonition. Go where the business is. Go where the money is. Go where the people are. Go where the action is. Go where the fun is. But this chapter isn't about that. This chapter will explain a simple method of getting another person to do what you want him to do. To do this, you go. Here is how. Find out where another's attention is and go there with your own conversation. He'll probably think you are the most interesting conversationalist he has ever met because you are talking directly to his attention, exactly where it is focused at that very moment. Find out where another's interest is and go there with your own interest, making your interest one with his. When you take your interest where another's interest is, when you join your interests with his, you cement an alliance which is mutually unbreakable. Find out where another's beliefs are and go there with your own beliefs. Use your beliefs to endorse, confirm, vindicate his beliefs. Combine your beliefs with his beliefs. Merge your beliefs with his beliefs, and you will together build a fortress of mutual belief, and he will forever be your ally in defending it. Find out where another's desires are, and go there with the exact satisfactions to fulfill his desires, fully and completely. You can attain no greater influence than the ability and willingness to fulfill the desires of others, exactly, completely, immediately. It requires considerable personality training, ability and technique to attain the personal magnetism to attract others to come to you. But it requires only willingness and effort to go to them. In either case, you react the same goal, the proximity which permits joining together for your mutual benefit. For you to accomplish that, by either method will require the ability on your part to accurately appraise the attention, interests, beliefs and desires of the other person, and to be able and willing to accommodate your own attention, interests, beliefs and desires to his, so that you will proceed together in an unbreakable alliance toward a mutually determined goal. This proven success method requires giving before getting. It is based on the proven premises that it not only is better to give than to receive, but it is necessary to give in order to receive. The executive who has a sign on his desk reading, "Be reasonable, do it my way," isn't kidding. The buyer who says, "These are our specifications. Our deadline on bids is 2 weeks," isn't kidding either. Neither is the personnel manager who says, "Here are the personal qualifications that we require from all applicants for this specific job." It used to be that the way to succeed was to dominate others, first by pressuring, and more recently by influencing, people to do things your way. Now, the way to succeed is to cooperatively adjust to the needs of those on whom your success depends. You adjust to the direction of their attention, you adjust to the subject of their interests, you adjust to reinforce their beliefs, you adjust to satisfy their desires. Doesn't this make you a will-less, jellyfish-like creature whose only desire is to please? Not at all. It takes more willpower to give up your own demands than it does to try to force them down someone else's throat, if you could. It takes more skill to smoothly adjust than it does to offensively dominate, if you could. It takes more intelligence to cooperate than to be obstructive, if you could. Please note that the preceding statements are followed by, if you could. Because the fact is, you cannot. When you are dealing with people whose decisions your success depends on, you cannot force your demands down their throats, you cannot offensively dominate them, you cannot block their chosen paths to their goals. You cannot have your way, but you must adjust to their way. That does not mean that, once you are on the team, once you are an insider, you cannot make constructive suggestions. In fact, you will be asked to, and expected to, when you are in. Then, the more improvements you can suggest, the faster you will succeed. But I want to briefly review for emphasis. Attracting people to you is great, but going to them is faster. Find out where another's attention is, and go there with your conversation. Then his attention will turn to you. Find out where another's interest is, and go there with your own interest, making your interest one with his. When you join your interest with his, you cement an alliance which is mutually unbreakable. Find out where another's beliefs are, and go there with your own beliefs which endorse, confirm, vindicate and reinforce his beliefs. He will be your constantly in defending them. Find out what another's desires are and go there with the exact satisfactions to fulfill his desires. You have to give before you can get. To be a go-getter, you must first adopt as your life plan the title of an excellent book and be a go-giver.